Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining us today. Researchers at the National Institute of Health, formerly led by Fauci, have identified a novel class of antibodies that target a previously unexplored region of the malaria parasite, potentially paving the way for innovative prevention strategies. The study, published in Science, highlights the promise of these antibodies in the fight against malaria. Among the newly identified antibodies, the most effective demonstrated protective effects against malaria parasites in animal models. Probably mice. Or maybe
hopefully
it's
not
on
beagles.
Monkey Island, yeah. These antibodies stand out because they bind to regions of the parasite not targeted by current malaria vaccines, offering a new avenue for combating this life-threatening disease. Would you like to know more?
We like this story. This is a good one. Malaria caused by Plasmodium parasites. Did I get that right?
This sounds right.
Okay. Transmitted through infected mosquito bites remains a significant global health threat. While rare in the United States, but still here. The disease had a devastating global toll in 2023. With the World Health Organization reporting an estimated 263 million cases,
Wow,
almost the population of the United States, and 597,000 deaths.
Wow,
that's a lot. 1 year.
Is that a plague? Could be.
I would consider that a plague. Yeah. Of the 5 species of Plasmodium that cause malaria, Plasmodium falciparum, is that right?
Yeah.
Fauciparum is the most common in African countries where the burden of malaria is largest, and where young children account for the majority of the malaria deaths.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
That's sad.
Safe and effective countermeasures are critical for reducing the immense burden of this disease.
In recent years, new interventions have been developed against malaria, including vaccines that currently are being rolled out for young children in regions where the disease is prevalent. Anti-malarial monoclonal antibodies, spelled small m, capital A, small b, and s, MABs, are another promising new tool that have been shown to be safe and efficacious against infection with P. falciparum in adults and children in early clinical trials. In recent years, new interventions have been developed against malaria, including vaccines that currently are being rolled out for young children in regions where the disease is prevalent. Anti-malarial monoclonal antibodies, MABs, are another promising new tool that have been shown to be safe and efficacious against infection with P. falciparum in adults and children in early clinical trials.
Okay, so I remember they were thinking that this drug, a anti-malaria drug, back in the COVID, right?
Yeah.
Was going to be
positive,
right? It could fight it or help with
and then
dealing with some of the issues and
stuff. Then people who were against Trump said, no, that's not going to work because it was Trump that mentioned it.
Right, and it had been something they'd been using for 50 years.
I used in Iraq. I used in Afghanistan. Chloroquine.
That's what it was. Chloroquine, right?
That's what I used.
Yeah. Okay. So the most promising anti-malarial MABs tested in humans to date bind to a protein on the sporozoite surface called the circumsporozoite protein at locations near to or containing amino acid repeats in a region called the central repeat region. Okay. The portion of the PFCSP also is included in the 2 available malarial vaccines. The researchers in the current study aim to find MABs that target new sites on the sporozoite surface.
Okay, led by scientists at NIH's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, NIAID, the research team used a novel approach to find new portions, or epitopes, on the sporozoite surface where antibodies bind. They isolated human MABs produced in response to whole sporozoites rather than to specific parts of the parasite, and then tested the MABs to see if they could neutralize sporozoites in a mouse These mice, man. What would we be without mice? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're good in the lab, but
Yeah.
not good in your home.
Right, not good in your home. In a mouse model of malaria, one mAb named MAD21-101 was found to be the most potent, providing protection against P. falciparum infection in mice.
This new mAb binds to an epitope on the PFCSP outside of the central repeat region that is conserved or similar between different strains of P. malaciparum. Notably, the epitope, called the PGLU-CSP, is exposed only after a specific step in the development of the sporozoite, but is widely accessible on the sporozoite surface. A scenario that the researchers say could mean PGLU CSP would be effective at eliciting a protective immune response if used in a vaccine. Man,
Okay.
if y'all know what all this stuff means, please leave a comment because I'd love to know.
Sounds promising. It sounds promising.
Okay.
They're just trying to get a new vaccine, squeezing it out of here. As PGLU-CSP is not included in currently used malaria vaccines, MABs targeting this epitope are unlikely to interfere with the efficacy of these vaccines if the vaccines and MABs are co-administered. Okay? According to the scientists, this could provide an advantage because this new class of antibodies may be suitable to prevent malaria in at-risk infants who have not yet received a malaria vaccine but may receive one in the future. That's cool.
Yeah, but my question is, why are they not able to do that? Why are we not?
We're pushing.
I know we got
along
nets.
with research.
We got nets and stuff to put over people's beds at night so the mosquitoes don't get them. That was a big deal a few years ago. I'm sure it still is. Why are we not just flooding these areas with? That's a mandatory thing.
I guess it
like
takes,
you used to get.
Takes
you're old enough to remember the polio.
Yeah.
Did you get a polio vaccine?
I did get a polio vaccine.
Yeah. So that was like a mandatory thing, man. You got in a line like a bunch of sheep.
Yeah, but we're a developed country who has the resources and money. But you talk about Ghana or, Nigeria, may not have the resources.
So instead of spending money on, no, we're not going to go there.
And you take a look at Muslim countries. Why would they wouldn't do that? They might think it's sorcery. They believe that everything happens according to God's will. So if it's your will for your baby to die,
either God will heal you or you're going to die.
That's what they think, man. I've been over there.
Okay, findings from the study will inform future strategies for the prevention of malaria and may facilitate the development of new antibodies and vaccines against the disease. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
The scientists also note that more research is needed to examine the activity and effectiveness of the newly identified antibody class and epitope, according to their paper. The approach used in this study could also aid the development of a new generation of countermeasures against those pathogens in addition to malaria, which would be good too.
Yeah.
Right? This
is promising. I like it. I like this kind of science that's pushing forward to help,
Absolutely. Yep. And if more people or more organizations or more countries got involved in this rather than developing fentanyl or growing poppies, then who knows what could happen. All this kind of stuff could just go away.
Power and money, right? Poppies give you power and money.
Yeah.
Nets don't.
Fentanyl, I'm sure, does too.
Yeah.
So,
all right, folks, thanks for joining us. Watch this afternoon. We got another awesome episode coming up.
Yep. Hopefully tomorrow, the sun, or later on today, or maybe tomorrow, the sun will be shining.
Yeah, I hope so.
Take care, everyone.
Okay, see you.